Okay. Hi, Scorpio. It's Lulu. And today I'm going to do your spiritual conversation. All right. Thank you for your likes, shares, subscribes, and comments. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you. Oh, okay. All right, so y'all should be feeling good right now. Maybe because Scorpio season was just not too long ago. All right, and if you stay in that energy as long as you can, right? I feel as though there will be a lot of. I just really feel like there'll be a lot of good shit that happens. Good things happen in between a bunch of things that are good, maybe bad or indifferent. So it's going to be on you how you stay in a space of gratitude, right? Stay in a space of feeling and being in the energy of being uplifted. You see, it's very important. All right, because remember, what you feed feeds you. Okay, now then, let's get into it. We got the big girls out. They don't want to act right. These girls have been around so long. Let's see, girls. What do y'all have for Scorpios, please? The Scorpions. Ooh. See, that's what I'm saying. All right, see that? So, any challenges, trials, tribulations, or what have you, it depends on how you look at them, right? Because oftentimes when we go through certain things, it's meant to build character. It's meant to strengthen us in certain areas of our life. It depends on how you look at it and what it is that you were honing and working on in that space, right? So that's why I feel like there may be a number of trials. I don't want you to take it negatively when I say trials, because we're in the school of learning. That we came here to learn some things. We came here to experience certain things. We came here to walk in line with our assignment. We came here to do what we came to do. Okay, but it's how you look at it. All right. Now then, oh shit. First card out. Anxiety. What is it? What is it? Why is it there? All right. So the first card out is anxiety. This is my spiel about the 90-day journey to mindfulness, but whatever. All right. Anxiety, the number 18. All right. So there's something that you may be thinking about. You may be overthinking it, right? And it may even be in a space where you were really feeling distraught, because she looked distraught to me. But you may have been feeling distraught. You may have felt as though maybe you've been through a lot. She got a little bruise on her elbow. Whatever it is that you've been through, that one is about you figuring out how to get out of it yourself. That may be what you are called to do in this space in order to have some type of movement, right? Whatever decision that you make, of course, and how you decide to move forward, and whatever this is that has you, that has you in this space of anxiety, overthinking something, stressed out, worried, I just feel like it's like feeling beat down by life, right? So you may be in this reflective space, right? Doing a lot of introspective work because of that one. That's what I'm getting from that. There's something that you're going to have to figure out how to get out of it, right? Then you have the throat chakra with Archangel Gabriel. So there's something that possibly you want to communicate. Maybe you are trying to communicate, like, whenever you are praying or what have you, and all of a sudden you start thinking about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with what you are praying about, you have to clear it out and start over, okay? Until you create a way of praying that has to do with you being able to go right in and be very focused and disciplined about how you go in and not allowing anything to infiltrate you. So that could be one way, but it's also something about clearing the throat chakra, right? Maybe you haven't been able to stand up for yourself. Maybe you haven't been able to speak your truth. Maybe you haven't been able to come from a space of compassion in order to get your point across. Or maybe that someone is doing that to you and that has you in anxiety, whichever way. But this is your read. I feel as though that whatever this throat chakra activation may be, or this clearing, anytime you clear it, it's activating it, right? And usually you, because a lot of times you can't speak from your heart, and you can't speak from what your soul and what is hurting you, ailing you, or what have you, right? It can become difficult when you perceive some type of limitation. This could be self-limitations or limitations of other people, you say. The thinking man. This may be someone that offers you some type of assistance, offers you some type of clarity, offers, maybe that's who you need to communicate with, right? Someone who's very grounded, very balanced. Maybe he has a 46. So maybe someone who's very grounded, maybe very balanced here. But I feel as though this thinking man is bringing you in some type of information, right? In order to provide some type of clarity. It could easily be a spirit guide. It could be an actual person. It could be an earth angel, whoever it is, right? But overall, I feel as though this is someone that you may, if you don't already know them, you may be meeting them while you are out. And I really do feel that the place that you may meet this person is there's a lot of high ceilings. There's a lot of nice, I don't know if it's murals or architecture. It's something about, because you go from one space to another, right? So it's something about right when you were feeling like this was it, you realize something different, or you look into something and see that it's something totally different than what you thought at first, right? The angel of love. This has a lot to do with self-love, self-care, self-preservation. But overall, with this angel of love, I feel as though you are seeing things from a different perspective. She is crossing the 5th chakra. In order to speak from your true and authentic self, it is important that you do the hard work, okay? Because if you lie to yourself, you lie to all of us, okay? So this has something to do with balancing out that heart and that throat chakra, but overall, being in a space where you are very compassionate with yourself. And some of you may even get into a space where you feel very vulnerable. You may even discuss certain things with people that you hadn't discussed with anyone. You may be revealing things too. Things may be revealed to you yourself, because she is under the anxiety card. So there may be a number of things that are brought in. Like, I feel like this is like a lot of love. You are being, what do you call it? Like, it's enveloped. Right? You're being enveloped by a lot of love, being surrounded by a lot of love and care, right? On this plane or another, but there's a lot of love energy. Some of you are realizing what love is to yourself, right? Especially if you've been through this space where you, the next card is 4th chakra. So you may have been in a space where you were indecisive about love, or you were indecisive about people, right? Something about your childhood possibly, right? And childhood could easily be when you were a teenager as well. You may smell flowers randomly, right? But then you have this 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, falling right under the throat chakra, right? And this is the heart. The heart is under the throat, right? So it feels like everything is being revealed to you as it goes. Like if you try to force a reveal, if you try to force, go look at the pep talk I just did in this outfit, because I really discussed it a little more. But when you try to force your process and get ahead, it kind of bogs things down. It causes, you to have to really sit in certain spaces until the reveals happen the way that they should, right? It's called an ebb and a flow, right? So with this 4th chakra, I really do feel like you're being opened up to self-acceptance. You're being opened up to releasing yourself of a lot of things that burdened you, held you down. May have to do with your father, who knows? But it's like you are being released and feeling more rejuvenated, possibly, when it comes to matters of the heart. You may have even had some type of anxiety about a relationship or some connection that you had when it comes to which reading, because I do individual reads on Patreon. I do 3 of those, and I do some other stuff too, because sometimes I just be overdoing it, okay? But I remember one of the reads, I think I discussed this about, that anxiety with the heart chakra. But at any rate, I feel like you're being calmed down, brought into a meditative space so that you will be able to see things more clearly, you see. The journey, right? That's like the Hermit card. But this is also duality. Now you may be going back and forth with yourself about what it is that you are seeing or perceiving. It may have a lot to do with how you perceive certain things, but overall it's time for you to take a break, time for you to take some time off for yourself, as well as just go within and follow that inner guidance. Some of you may even be creating some type of plans based on, because maybe you had a block. Maybe that's what the anxiety was about, having some type of block or some type of requesting clarity, but it wasn't coming through the way that you thought it would, and they send you on a journey, right? What do they call it? The not the merchant's journey. It could easily be a shamanic journey, mystic journey. It could be any kind of journey, but this is like a journey within, though, I feel. But you could be taking a trip, got your whole bag packed. But overall, what I get with this is that there's a lot of things that you may be taking and dumping. Okay. So you may be taking and dumping a lot of things off and just releasing of it. It's kind of like clearing your energy, right? But it's like you are taking things and getting rid of them, taking things and moving away from them. Taking, like, you may be communicating that you are leaving a situation. You no longer want to be caught up in a certain paradigm with certain people that are caught up in a certain paradigm. But overall, I feel as though, yep, there it is. You walking away. Okay, you saying goodbye to old patterns of behavior. You're saying goodbye to old oppressive, and that is crossing the heart chakra and thinking, man, you're walking away from a situation, maybe even a person, but you're walking away and you're leaving behind what needs to be left behind. You're walking away, taking into account that you choose you, right? Maybe you are. Maybe you used to feel like it was selfish for you if you were to leave. It was you know, because maybe that person or someone, right, had you caught up in a mindset that, you know how when you were younger and part of the programming may have been that you were you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. Then the older you get, it's like, if I would have did that, I would have been this and that, or I would have been able to achieve this and that, or I would have been able to do this and that. I would have been able to experience something, right? So maybe someone had you feeling like you weren't supposed to do certain things, or they were trying to keep you caught up in a way of doing things that had nothing to do with your soul's growth, you see. All right, thank you. Look at that, all tied up. You walk away and someone here, maybe you walk away from someone in prison, maybe you walk away from being in prison, but overall, I feel as though you may, even when you walk away, you may not have the clarity that you need. Here's the thing, because it's crossing the journey card as well. With this all tied up card, it could be the Eight of Swords, it could be that someone is bound and trapped or blah, 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 blah. But overall, what I'm getting with this is that when you walk away, you still have a limiting way of viewing things. You have a limited way of, maybe be limited in who you can converse with, who you can reach out to. You may even be limited in, because it's crossing the self-love card, so you may even be limited in who you share love with, right? And you could be held back by your guides and just your overall star player telling you that you need to just be in this space. Even though it may feel constricting, you want to be in a space where you are still able to grow. So let's see what the next card is. Patience. Told you ahead. So they pulling you in a space where even though you feel as though you got away from something and that was it, that was all, there's always more to be revealed. Always. Okay, always is a strong word, and that's the second time I said it today. Irritating, but it is true. With this patience card coming across this heart chakra and this anxiety, because you are clearing the clutter and the debris in the heart chakra and getting it to spin in the right direction, as well as not having it be so inflamed and having you in a space where you were just imbalanced, right? Because it's all about balance and moderation, okay? This patience card is coming in like the temperance card, right? So this could be divine intervention, and when divine intervention steps in, you have to sit in a space of it's kind of like the hangman, so that you can view things from a different perspective, so that you can see the other side of things, or come into a space where there is more mental clarity. There's more for you to learn, or more for you to clear, right? Because when you make the choices, whoever this is, however you are making this choice, right? Because this is huge. But when you make this choice to step more fully into your loving power, that's what it feels like to me. But when you take this time out to really step deeper into love, and then you want to know what your next step is, your next step is not revealed to you until certain things are cleared out. Let's see what the next card is. Temple pad. That's what I'm saying. Some of you are changing your spiritual practices, your what it is that you believe spirituality is. But overall, like I said, you are getting more in alignment with your assignment. You may even begin to see a lot of synchronicities. You may move into a space where you are more aware of the signs and symbols and not looking deeply into them, right? So you may be an entrepreneurial intuitive or a senior intuitive, right? So you're moving more into this space where you've graduated a certain process in your life. You are really, really seeing things from a different perspective. Some of you may see, not going there, it's too early in the day, celestial beings came out. Now then, this is you connecting with the one, but overall I also feel as though your path, you are being guided even more. So I feel as though this reminds me of how when you first start really listening to your guides on a regular basis, and you make a habit of it until it becomes just a natural part of your process. Like, you don't go nowhere without you being connected. You don't do anything without being connected. You don't make any moves without being connected, because you know how important that is on your path. You see. Now then, with this temple path, I also feel as though you're being led up into a new way of being, living, surviving. You're no longer in survival mode, but you are in a space of knowing that you have survived, and your past does not dictate your future. The only way that you can relate your past to your future is knowing what it is that you don't need to do, or taking those bits of information that are needed in order for you to continue to grow and prosper. You see. Told you. Cornucopia of blessings. You're being led into the Soma Bliss energy, which is a very beautiful energy. It's just so, and I can't say euphoric, but overall, this is you connecting to what it is that you need to connect to and how you need to connect to it, not skipping any steps, because that's the thing. The cornucopia of blessings can be a space where you, sometimes people can feel as though they're in that space and everything is right on time or right in alignment, but depending on how they got those blessings, it really says a lot to how long they will keep them, how long will they be able to stand in that space and be able to move forward. I feel like for those of you listening to this, you really went into a space and really did a lot of work in order to get where you are. This is when you get into that space of gratitude where you can't do nothing but clap and pray. That's it. You can't even discuss everything that you done been through. And that's when you know, right? You don't even want to discuss it because you so feel with gratitude, like, it ain't time for you to testify because you done been through a lot. What's the next card? I told you it ain't time for you to testify, rest, and rejuvenation. Taking time out to just really be in a space where you are allowing yourself to really clear out the residual energy. This may be you going into that space where you do your emotional to-do list, because and also just really realizing what it is that you need to do in this next leg. You are open to receiving all the information that is provided from a higher realm, okay? You may even take time away from social media. You may go into a space where you are only reading and listening to things that are reflective of where you are in your journey and where you plan to go. You don't want anything that reminds you of the past, because you know right now you may be in that space where when you know that certain things will only trigger certain memories that will have you connect back to your past instead of connect toward where you are going. So you're very mindful of that. Possibly daughter personal happiness and healing, of course you are mindful of it. Okay, there's no other way to go but up. Okay, this has a lot to do with the rainbow, and depending on what your beliefs are, or what have you, the rainbow is very, very much so, has a lot to do with this enlightened path, you see. I feel as though some of you may have even had to take a break or take some time off. You may have had a victory in some type of lawsuit, or had some type of victory in not doing what the old you would do and doing what the new you would do, because there may have been things in this situation that triggered something in you to allow you to move forward and surrender certain things in order for you to move forward, right? So now you're in this space of really knowing what it feels like to be okay, knowing what it feels like, or remembering what it feels like to feel good, be happy, be joyous, right? In this space of really allowing yourself to just be, you may be spending more time in your garden. You may even be in a space where you are getting back into your active activities, right? Your normal activities, maybe picking up a new hobby or what have you. But overall, I really do feel as though, you are looking at and reflecting, because now you can reflect, right, on the beauty of life. Now you can move into the space where you could tell a little bit, but you can't tell it all. You hear me? Now you are in a space of cleansing and being and feeling purified, feeling that cleansing energy, right? Feeling what it feels like to be on the other side of this, instead of having to be in this space of where you were going through so much and having to battle all of these different things. And you realize when you surrender certain things, it'll be handled regardless. Okay, so That's my spiel. I thought I was going to be able to clarify, but the big girls said what they said, okay? One card at a time, all right? So if you feel like you are all tied up, all caught up, just ask for instructions and they'll let you know if you are just in a space where you have to sit here. If you are just in a space where you have to pull back. If you are in a space where you just have to be where you are, when you are, how you are. And they don't have to tell you why, but they will sometimes, all right? All right. I love y'all, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.